Hi everyone, welcome to Observability Guru. Today we're going to discuss about real user monitoring. We will first discuss about Datadog real user monitoring, and then we will jump into a demo where I have an application hosted in AWS, and I'll walk you through how we can implement Datadog real user monitoring there and enable those capabilities. So let's discuss what is real user monitoring. So as you know, we have end users or the actual users accessing our systems, especially web applications or mobile applications. And when we say real user monitoring, what we want is we want to understand what exactly these end users are doing. Start monitoring and tracking these end users so that we get an idea, you get a field of what these end users are doing. And that we call real user monitoring. So as part of real user monitoring, we like to enable set of capabilities, starting from obviously front-end performance tracking. So we would like to see the page loading time, the response times and other things, pretty much anything which is related to front-end performance. And then we want to look at errors. So the front end, there can be some errors users are encountering, and we want to identify what are they and uh, be on top of that so that we can fix them proactively. Third point is we want to look at the front end usage. This is about the business volumetric, and that will really help us when we are planning things in future. And there's another something new which is called frustration signals. So I'm sure you might be aware or you have experience when you are in a particular website and you click something, it has not loaded, so you start clicking a couple of times. So frustration signal is nothing but trying to understand frustrations of a user who is browsing your site. So that will be very handy for you because you can understand what type of what at which areas these end users are feeling frustration, and then you can take remediation actions. And we also have session replay. It's about recording these production end users and trying to see what they are doing. And then in case if you get complaints, someone is saying something is not working, we can isolate particular session and then start seeing what these users are doing, and that will give us a better picture of what has happened and how system has react, and those will help us in troubleshooting front-end related issues. And of course Datadog is providing a lot of built-in dashboards, and you have the ability of creating a lot of custom dashboards as well using the metrics RUM real user monitoring is providing. And on top of this you can of course build alerts. So when it comes to Datadog real user monitoring, there are a set of features, and this can be applicable into various tech stack like a browser-based application, mobile applications in developed using Android or iOS, Flutter, a React Native application, Roku as well. So generally, there are features like sending logs to Datadog, distributed tracing of network requests are widely available across all tech stack, including ability to track views and actions. And when it comes to feature flags and using that to track releases, it's been offered most of this tech stack, but except Roku. And ability to do error tracking and source mapping, and ability to look at crash tracking, symbolization, and those things are across all the tech stack. And when it comes to track events in web servers, that is pretty much available for Android, iOS, Flutter, and React Native. And monitor platform specific vitals, which very important. Except for Roku, we are able to look at it other tech stack. Global context attribute tracking in logs is allowed for browser-based applications. Client-side tracing is enabled for Android and iOS-based applications. Session replays again browser, Android, iOS, so those three tech stack. And frustration signal is across the board, like it's a capabilities available for all the tech stack. So these are some of the capabilities Datadog real user monitoring is providing, which will help you to have better insight and try to have understanding what is your end users are doing with your system. Moving on, if you look at Datadog RUM, so it's extracting a lot of data points, and we can actually look at things in a more of a hierarchical way. So how Datadog RUM is stored these events or the data is, it's first looking at session. So session is typically a user-based activity, a particular user, whatever the time window they are staying with this site, and that will be translated to a particular session. And then we have views are nothing but the pages or the screens these users are navigating. And we have the actions, where these are the actions or uh, kind of like clicks and those things which your end users are performing on top of the browser based application or in the screens in your mobile application. And then it's error. So errors are the issues which come across while navigating these front-end applications. And then you have the resources, it's about images, the assets. And then long task, it's about looking at latency when some of the tasks are being performed. So in high level, these are the RAM real user monitoring hierarchy. So I'll walk you through when we are doing the demo, where you can look at these sessions, views, actions, and we can filter those things. So Datadog RUM provide multiple integration approach. So in high level, based on the type of your application. So if your application is a modern web application and you have high performance targets, or whether this is a non-business critical application, or whether you want to look at some of these insights as soon as possible. So based on these criterias, you can decide which integration approach is best suited for your application. Typically, NPM is suited for modern web application which require high performance targets. So it will have relatively low impact on page response time, and it will provide basically the full control and all the capabilities. And we have CDN async and CDN sync. So difference between async and sync is, uh, so CDN async is kind of a quick setup, and it's more suited for non-critical applications. It will have some level of page loading impact. But when it comes to CDN sync, this is for applications which require immediate tracking of these performance metrics. It will have relatively a medium level page loading impact. So if you look at NPM, CDN async, CDN sync, so CDN sync is the approach where more impact on the page loading times, and it's again provide the full capabilities. So my advice for you is, when you are undertaking and starting your journey to enable Datadog RUM in your application hosted in AWS, I'm suggesting you to do a performance test with this configuration, so that you can validate your performance before and after, and that's always the best way to uh, eliminate any risk you are going to have. But pretty much this will have very bare minimum impact, and generally you will not see much issues at all. So moving on, let's try to get into the demo, and then we can I can walk you through some of these aspects which we have discussed now. Okay, so let's make a start with the demo. So I have developed a small application which is a hotel booking application, where front end is developed using Angular and backend services are being developed using Spring Boot. So here we have the front page, and I can able to look at the locations of where some hotels are being located, and then I'm able to get the rates. It's just a very small application, so we can get the concept without getting ourselves drowned with a lot of complexities. So it have the hotel services as well. I think at the moment I stop this link. So we have this. Right? So this is again hosted in AWS EC2 instance. So now I moving into my Datadog. So this is a brand new Datadog account. So when I so The Datadog real user monitoring is under digital experience. So once you go there, you can select real user monitoring, and so I can wait until it start loading. So this is, as I said, like a brand new Datadog account. I don't have any applications created. So let me go and just create a new application. So I click new application, and so Datadog uh, providing this Datadog RUM integration with uh, script-based, JavaScript-based applications, or applications related to Android or iOS or React Native, Flutter, Roku, and other things as well. So here I'll give a name. Let me say hotel app. I select JS. So when we are creating this application, we have two options: whether to collect geolocation data, so this will allow us to save session IP addresses, or whether we need to collect client IP data as well. So we have the option of disabling this and going on, and we can enable it again, but for this demo I will enable it while I'm creating this application. So this application is created inside Datadog now. So you can say once I just create this app, I'm Datadog is providing me the code snippet which I should use to do the integration, which means that connect the front end with Datadog. So I have a couple of options. I can go with, as I see, npm, or I can go with cd and async, or cd and sync, which we have discussed. So let me go with cd and async, and I have to set the environment. Let me say it's test, and service name I have given, and there are a few other configuration places I can do. So this is about session sample rate, right? So this is about how many sessions I want to capture part of real user monitoring. So I can make it 100. So there's another parameter which is about session replay sample rate. So that means when are we going to enable session replay, how many number of sessions in a sample which you want to enable this, right? So just for the sake of testing, I'll make it 100%. And privacy is all input user data default mask. So I have couple of options, like when the session replay is happening, I can mask all user input data, or all text available by default, or all text masked by default, right? So those things I can do. So I'll at the moment mask all user input data, and with that I have this script. I can just copy this, and then what I have to do is I have to go to the place where I have my front end code is deployed, and start doing the instrumentation. So let me first do this with indexed file. Obviously you can have a master file and then added so that way it's more easy and it's better management, but for the sake of here I'm just will go in individually and add this code snippet here. So we added for index. Let me go and do this for location php. Let me do this for reservation. And finally my hotel service page. So I have added this code snippet. So before we do any testing, let me go back again. So all the configuration values, right? Again, just to go through this. So we have the ability of giving the environment, setting up the service name, and selecting the session sample rate, how many sessions you want to capture, and then we can select the session replay sample rate as well, and then we can figure out set uh, the mode we want to do when it comes to session replay. So we can either go and disable or mask all the user input data or all the input text likewise. So there are a couple of options. So all of those things will be come in change here. So if you can see session sample rate it here, track user interaction, and then track resource and all of those things, right? So these are some of these configurations here. And then what I'll do is, now that happen, let me do a refresh. So hopefully this will ensure I able to see the code snippet. So yeah, I can see this code snippet here. Let me go inside and let me see the code snippet here. It's visible here as well. Then I will go to the rates page. Here also I'm able to see the code snippet. Then I go to this hotel service page. Let me see. Yes, I can see it has right. So now that I have generated some traffic, let me go back to Datadog console. So it just says waiting for data, but generally if I refresh it, I should be able to see it has identified, Datadog has identified this new application. If not, I might have to give a couple of minutes. Yes, it has identified. So you can see it's instrumented successfully. So I can see the like everything is good. So we have kind of like a enable Datadog RUM with our web application, which is hosted in AWS. So now if I go back to my digital experience and go to real user monitoring here, I can see in the drop down I only have one application, so it's visible here. So I start seeing all these important metrics now, right? So one important metric is under performance. I can see the performance summary, which is about the core web vitals, which is about largest content, full paint, and other important stuff. And we are able to see the errors, total errors, session with errors, pages with errors, the deployment details, user analytics, and those things. So under performance summary, so this is the overview. We can go into the performance as well. So as you pretty much have seen, I have little bit of less traffic at the moment, but I hope you are getting the concept. So here again all the key metrics are visible, and also performance based on the top pages like my service hotel service the page, index page, the location, reservation page. So you can see the page loading time, P75, web vitals, and other things. So all the important stuff. And I can see the errors, total errors, errors by page, and all things related to errors are visible here. And if required, I can do some changes to enable deployment tracking as well. So I can do deployment tracking. If multiple deployments are being leveraged, I can see performance or errors based on each deployment type. So all of those capabilities are there, and I can create some API endpoints as well. Obviously analyze these API endpoints if I have. So there are a lot of filter options this view is providing. And also one other view is product analytics, where I can see the analytics, the summary of the application from a product perspective. So at the moment you can see I have one session, and these are the engagement details, the session, unique visitors, stickiness, average session duration, power users, and all those things. So if this is kind of like a ordering system, I can look at the number of sessions completing the order journeys, or completing some of these tasks, and bounce rates, and all those other things as well. And then we have the options of looking at user retention details. So here you will see things like anything important which is give you kind of idea related to user retentions. And then we have the user journeys. So under user journeys you can see all my pages, and it will display kind of in a methodical way. So here I can see how users are moving from different places. I can get more idea, and we also are able to get and look at heat maps as well. Those are again good feature. So things like different areas of my application. And then session replay, we will have one video where we will look at it detail, but whole idea is that it will record a particular session, and then it will start keeping that recorded journey, the video. So in case if required, we can come back and see. I can filter for sessions and I can isolate this and I can see what is happening. So here there's a one recorded journey. So if you can see, let's wait, give a moment for it to load. Yeah, so you can see it's starting with my hotel homepage. So my cursor, you can see how my cursor is moving. It's going to the hotel location page. And so here idea is that while these moving is happening, in case of any issue, that will be captured by the Datadog RUM. So it will be part of the video which you have the access to watch, and then very easily you can understand, right? So it will cut down the ambiguity. So once you have this session replay, you can have a playlist as well. So that's again a different way of putting the data. And you have the ability of error tracking. So all the error related stuff will be coordinated here, so we can start looking at errors and understand what's happening. So there are a lot of filtering options where we can do. So as I said, like my POC is very small and it's been running for very short time, just to show you the concept. So there are no errors, but if there's anything, it will start appearing here. And also finally I can do session explorer, so which will allow me to look at pretty much multiple sessions as well. So here one thing I want to note you is, if you remember, we discussed about Datadog RUM hierarchy. So here you can see that RUM hierarchy, you can see it's session. So everything is part of session, and then we have the views. So under views we have your actions, errors, resources, long tasks, and other vitals. So this is pretty much a Datadog RUM. So this will allow you to have full visibility into your front-end performance, whether it's browser-based or whether it's mobile-based application, and this will allow you to create a lot of rich alerts so that you can be on top of your operations. So that's it, everyone. So this covers Datadog RUM, how we have enabled in application hosted in AWS. So until then, take care. Bye.